Okay, so Kangaroo basics for a more of a system that you could develop yourself. This is the whole thing. It's a very simple definition of Kangaroo, which has edge lengths, anchor points, and load for gravity purposes. Has a mesh and some points. The way to create this mesh, what I did is just a number of vertical meshes. You can go to the mesh tools, and then you can do the vertical option. And you can just set your vertical plane, and you can just start copying it and rotate 3D. And you can obviously copy this direction and rotate 3D. Okay, so important is that the message should actually have the same number of polygons in one direction and another one, so that when you join this message, they're actually welded together. So once you can grow this in whatever direction, you can also make some deformations or specific, and we can see that after, but basically Control-Shift and select one of those, you can move only one vertex. You can also do Control-Shift a bunch of those and move the whole line if that's what you need or whatever. You can even potentially rotate that. Anyway, so we have a mesh. When you join those, and again, if the polygons are actually the same number in both direction, they will be welded together. No? So in the definition, the mesh is obviously the mesh you're doing before I had this one selected. And the points for the anchor points are going to be whatever you want them to be. So the way I'm doing it is think of the points you want to be constrained or anchored. So you press Control-Shift. Just going to select a bunch of them, doesn't really matter. Okay, and then what you do is extract point. Okay, those come out, you create a layer, you can right click and place them in that layer. Just make sure all of them are there, turn on and off, and you can keep adding and so on. When you add more points or you extract more points, you're just going to have to place them again until the points of the anchor definition. So you're going to say set multiple points, right click on the layer, change the select objects, and then enter, and they will be there. So there you go. So you have basically the mesh is working and the points. Again, you can work with the length factors or I have a load, particular gravity feeling and so on. And then here at the end, I just have like a simple Weaver birds definition to make it smoother and look more textile quality. So if we click here, let me turn on this preview. So what is going on here is obviously that the load vertical -1 is very big, and probably this set to 1 it's not allowing it to stretch inward. So you can probably just start working with this a bit more. Notice how that's changing. You can also change the load to 0, 1, but you can go minus 0.05 or whatever it is. Oops. No, you can place just whatever number you want it to be. So you see minus 0.05. Oops. Okay, let me see. 0 minus 1. We want it actually to be smaller. Anyway, as you change this guy, it's going to increase that one. But if you put it to 0, you're not going to have any gravity. So what we just need is the 0.05 here. So 0.05 that will be the command, and then you just need to take it to minus 0.1 as well. And as you go down, that's going to give you that gravity feeling. No, so again, I think some gravity is worth having, so it makes it more realistic. Okay, so you can combine whatever small number of gravity with whatever tensions you want it to have. Okay, so obviously the bigger the factor, the more gravity or less gravity you need. So yeah, you play with those factors until you get the surface you want. No? Let me hide this. There you go. So you have this element. You can obviously see the difference. This is just to clean up a little bit the geometry. This would be the edges without smoothing it, which is, I think, good enough. But if you want to make it smoother, you can obviously use a with earth command and then have this even smoothen out. You know? I wouldn't take it like crazy because it just takes more definition. But if you take this to 2, it will be higher resolution, as you can see. You know? Okay, so I will probably work with this enable and then just look at this preview. So if you have another one, you could just have another mesh, say set one mesh, you say this one. Remember to reinitiate the bouncer. And then the points, you will have to say set multiple points. I have these points here. Right click, select objects, enter. And now these are my points and this is my mesh. You can do as many models like this one. And you can just set this to click. And there you go. Again, change the parameters for the length factor and the gravity. And notice how here I was playing with those points. Control-Shift, and you need to select both the point of the anchor and the point of the mesh. And then as you change this, you know, you're changing the form, obviously. So that makes sense. Okay, you can do that with any particular point. For example, this one, Control-Shift, select that. Only this one, I had that one. And there you go. You're a little more free to change some of the points. I would start simple and then modify these things. Okay, and last thing, obviously, you like the smoothness. Well, you just can enable guy. You have preview. This is the edges. You might want the edges, by the way. If you want to do a pipe of those edges, you have like a more of a wireframe thing, but you will probably bake this element into whatever layer you want. There you go. Your little cute monster. Okay, and you can do the system however you want it to be. I hope that works out.